everybody, how you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to my Team of the Season Barclays Premier League predictions. TOTS is just around the corner, so I thought why not put together a list of the players that I think have done well enough in the Barclays Premier League that could possibly get a Team of the Season coming up very soon. Now the format for this video will be me going through each major position, so like goalkeepers, right backs, left backs, centre backs, midfielders, attackers, all of that sort of stuff, and giving you plenty of options of players that could possibly make the cut for the Team of the Season in the Premier League. And then at the end of the video I will put together my starting 11, and then I will leave the bench and reserves up for you guys to choose down below in the comments of who you think should get in. Now these types of videos are always very opinionated, and I would urge you to let me know what your opinions are. If there's someone that I've missed out that you think definitely deserves a spot, then let me know down below in the comments. If there's someone that I've put in that you think, well, you know what, Lasty, he doesn't deserve a spot, then let me know, because I could very well be wrong and you could be right, or the other way around. So I think it's time we just got into it. I'm going to show you a list of players now and go through the different positions and see what we think could be for the Barclays Premier League TOTS. So we start off, of course, at the back with the goalkeepers, and I've got 4 possibilities for you guys in this video. So there are 4 goalkeepers displayed on screen right now, and I think these are your options for the Premier League TOTS. It's worth noting right now that all I have done in terms of stats and ratings for players is given everyone a +5 in every category, including their overall. So if someone's already got a high rated card and has had a couple of informs, it might seem that their overall rating is really high, but Team of the Season is a time where EA tend to go quite nuts and give us some really high rated players with amazing stats. And of course, on the other end of the spectrum, it is possible for someone like, well, let's take Kasper Schmeichel for example, to get maybe a higher rated card than just a +5 because of the great season he's had for Leicester. I'm not gonna lie, I would be pretty happy with all 4 of these goalkeepers. Obviously we'll see one in the starting 11, typically we'll get one on the bench as well, and then maybe we would get one in the reserves for the Team of the Season. I'm not 100% sure, but to me it's likely that David De Gea will get that starting 11 spot, and then I reckon Kasper Schmeichel will probably get the second one, but let me know down below in the comments if you think differently. Next up, we move over to the left back spot, and I've got 3 options for you guys, all players which, well, they play for the top 3 clubs in the Premier League right now. We've got FUTWIZ for Leicester, we've got Danny Rose and Nacho Monreal. All pretty high performers in the league this year, and I think the starting 11 spot would go to Nacho Monreal. However, if he does manage to get into the most consistent Team of the Season, then maybe EA would choose someone else for the starting 11 in the BPL TOTS and then stick Nacho Monreal on the bench or on the reserves or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Next up, we've got right backs, and for me, there's only going to be one player getting into this spot, and it is going to be Hector Bellerin. We've got Kyle Walker there. In my eyes, I can't really see it happening. I'd love it if it did, because that card looks amazing, but I can see Hector Bellerin getting in to the starting 11, and then I don't think Kyle Walker would make even the bench or the reserves. He's just an option that we've put in the video for today. Now we move on to our first major position for the outfield 11 players. We have got the centre backs, and there's a few options, I'm not gonna lie. I've stuck 6 in here. There are probably a couple more that could fit in, but I wanted to keep it at a maximum of 6 players per position, because we're only likely to get sort of probably 3 out of this lot that would actually make the cut. The first one there is a silver Team of the Season. It is Wes Morgan, of course. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a chance that he could be gold and around 80 rated, depending on if he gets any informs between, you know, the end of FIFA and the start of BPL TOTS, or whether or not, because he's already got like a high rated silver card, EA might just move him in to the gold category. But for now, I've kept him at a silver. I'm not likely to use this guy if he ever gets in, simply because that pace does not look good. I'd rather use a gold one, and typically they'll be cheaper as well. The next couple in the row are, of course, Van Dijk, who is another player that's likely to get into the most consistent but never had an informed Team of the Season. So if he gets into that, I can't see him making it into the BPL TOTS, maybe a spot on the reserves. We've then got Robert Huth, so I think it's going to be a toss-up between Morgan or Huth. One of them might get in, the other might not, but of course you can't overlook these guys. They've they've kept it solid at the back for Leicester all season, and it's just a very unexpected duo to do so amazing, in my opinion. Now we've got the big three. We've got Alderweireld for Tottenham, who is likely to be somewhere around the 86 to 87 rating, and he would be pretty damn good. Nearly 70 pace, I think that's usable, and great defending, great physical. And then the two which I think everyone would go nuts for, Chris Smalling and Koscielny as well. I mean, they would be the higher rated ones because they already are relatively high rated on the game. Chris Smalling would have like over 80 pace, crazy defending, amazing physical as well. He would be rock solid at the back, and I'm pretty sure he's like 6'4" too. And then we've got Koscielny, who, well, he's already got an 86 rated second in form. If he did get boosted by another 5, he'd be a 91 rated centre back. And that might seem quite high, but, well, we've seen the sorts of ratings that Terry got last year. I'm pretty sure he was like a 90 or a 91, and he would have crazy pace, amazing defending, great physical. He would rival the likes of Team of the Year Sergio Ramos for one of the best centre-backs in the game. Now we move on to central midfielders, and we've got 4 options for you guys today. We've got Drinkwater, who I think would probably be a silver team of the season with really good stats for a silver. Again, if they decided to boost him up to gold, he would be somewhere of the high 70s, maybe an 80 rated overall, and he would have pretty good stats, probably similar to that right there. We've then got Kante, who is someone I really hope gets a team of the season. Definitely deserved, a real hard worker for Leicester, and one of the keys in there, well, hopefully them winning the league this year, because I just think it would be great and something very different for the Premier League. We've then got Dele Alli, who plays for Tottenham, of course. The next 2 players are from Tottenham. Dele Alli has now got a 77 rated in form, so if they boosted that by 5, it'd be 82, with some really good stats, like very well-rounded stats. I would like to use that. He's 6'2" as well, so he would do a job in game. And then Moussa Dembele, who is a candidate for the most consistent but never had an in-form TOTS. I still think he'll probably make it into the BPL TOTS, maybe somewhere on the bench or something. But again, even better than Dele Alli with the stats. He looks incredible, and he'd be a great high-rated Premier League card. Here's where things get really tasty. We're moving on to the attacking midfielders section of the video. I've got another 6 choices for you, and I probably could have put another 6 players in here as well that are likelies or honourable mentions and stuff like that for possibilities of going in the team of the season BPL. Now what we've got here, again, don't get me wrong, I've just +5'd everyone, so it may seem like Mesut Ozil is extremely high, and that why is he that much higher than like Payet, for example, but I've just +5'd everything. We'll see what EA do when team of the season actually comes out. But some candidates here of Ross Barkley, and look at the stats on him. If you +5 everything from what his current in form or second in form is, you get some very tasty stats. He'd be a great cam. 5-star weak foot as well on him is notable. Dimitri Payet, I mean, they need to whack that shooting stat up, you know, they need to whack the free kicks up and all of that good stuff, and he would be amazing. I'd love that if he was a cam. Then Coutinho, I to and froed between putting Coutinho or Firmino into this 6 players here. I went with Coutinho in the end. He seems to score more bangers and stuff like that. But they're relatively similar performance all season, I think. And, well, it'd be interesting nonetheless. Both of them would be great options as Brazilian players in the BPL. We've then got one which I think I would absolutely adore, and that is Christian Eriksen. I think it was like a few FIFAs ago where he got one when he played for Ajax, and it was amazing. I just think this one would be incredible, like 90, 91 rated. Amazing pace, shooting, dribbling, passing. He would be better than anyone, in my opinion. Apart from maybe De Bruyne. De Bruyne would have some pretty sick stats if you +5'd everything from the informs that he's got so far this year. 94 rated. I mean, that would be nuts, wouldn't it? I can't see it quite being that high. But amazing dribbling, shooting, passing. Those are his key stats. 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot, same as Eriksen right there. And then probably the one which is most likely to get in, of course, Mesut Ozil. Most assists in the league this year. Nearly perfect passing, I think, would be his stat. 98 I've given him there. That's a +5 from his second in form or whatever it is, the 90 rated one. Amazing dribbling, decent shooting, decent pace. He'd be a very usable card. So next up we've got the wingers, and out of these guys I can only see 1, maybe 2 making the cut, and those 2 are the ones in the middle, Arnautovic and Mahrez. As much as I'd love to see Willian get in, again, Brazilian, great free kicks and stuff like that would be his team of the season item, I just don't quite see it happening. I don't think Chelsea's performances and stuff this year would warrant Willian getting in. I'd love it, but I just don't see it happening. Arnautovic is one of the top performers in the league. I think he's got like 10 goals or something this year. And, well, just look at the stats on that guy. If he got a card, my days, he would be one of the most desirable ones out there because of the physical and everything else about him. He's very tall. He'd be very quick. I'd love to use it. Mahrez, well, up until recently, I was looking forward to the team of the season Mahrez because it's going to happen and he's going to have mental stats. But I don't get along with his items on FIFA 16. He doesn't seem to ever get involved for me, which is a problem. And then we've thrown Alexis Sanchez in right there. I don't think it's going to happen, but again, it's another possibility, and he would be very high rated, of course, because he's already high rated on the game. And finally, I've got 4 attackers that I think could make the cut for the Premier League TOTS. In rating order, we've got Vardy, Lukaku, Harry Kane and Sergio Aguero. Now, these are the top 4 scorers in the league, and I think the one that's definitely going to make it would be Harry Kane because he is top scorer. He's such an amazing prospect for England as well. Being English, I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy about the Kane and Vardy situation. I hope the pressure doesn't get to them, and I hope they do perform and are really quality strikers for us for years to come. But around an 87 rated Vardy is what you get if you +5 from his record breaker. Maybe that wouldn't quite happen because his stats would be insanely good. But then again, when you look at them compared to Lukaku's, Kane's, Aguero's, maybe that is about right. Lukaku would be a monster. I mean, he's like 6'3" and really strong, and for him to have 90 pace as well as crazy physical, that would be a game breaker for sure. Harry Kane's going to have usable pace, amazing dribbling, great shooting, and then Sergio Aguero would just blow everyone out of the water. Crazy stats there. That is if you just +5 everything on there. I mean, 96 pace, dribbling, and 98 shooting. Holy cow, that would be that would be all right, wouldn't it? I wouldn't mind that. So that is all of the players that I think could have a possibility of getting in the BPL TOTS. Now it's time to put them into a starting 11 and show you what my starting 11 would be for the TOTS Premier League. So then, I think the BPL TOTS will probably come out in like a 4-3-3, just because I think there's more central players and not many attackers and not many wingers that would get into the starting 11. And I think this right here is the starting 11 that will be the BPL TOTS. I think it'll be very similar to this if it isn't this exact team. David De Gea in goal. We've got Hector Bellerin at right back. We've got Nacho Monreal at left back. Of course, that is whether or not he gets in the most consistent for me. Alderweireld and Smalling as our 2 centre-backs in the starting 11, and a couple of the other ones will make the reserves and bench. We've then got Kante and Dele Alli. I think they've both been top performers this season and deserving of a starting 11 spot. I then didn't want to not put either Ozil or Payet in, so they both go in. Payet comes in there as a cam. He could possibly come out as a left wing. I'm not 100% sure. You West Ham fans would know where he plays week in, week out, so let me know down below. Riyad Mahrez, of course, great performance so far this season for Leicester. And then Harry Kane as a lone striker up front with definitely the likes of Lukaku, Vardy and stuff like that getting a card as well, just on the bench or in the reserves. So that is those are my thoughts for the Barclays Premier League team of the season. That is coming up in the next few weeks, I hope. Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. And of course, try to just be, I don't know, try to be nice rather than really horrible down there. I'd appreciate it. And if you're there, smash a like on the video as well. That'd be absolutely awesome. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you are new for all sorts more of this type of content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Peace.